We're also following breaking news out of the tech world tonight that you may have heard about. Amazon set to announce massive layoffs, as many as 30,000 corporate job cuts.
If you're the kind of person who likes to be ready for the absolute worst case scenario, and honestly, everyone probably should be, you're in luck. Because right now, Amazon is quietly stocking items that will make you stop and wonder if you're even supposed to be able to buy stuff like this. Picture this. You roll over in the morning, grab your phone, open Amazon, and start scrolling your home feed. Suddenly, you're staring at a gear that feels like it came straight out of a spy thriller. We're talking gadgets that could give you a real edge in tense emergencies, and tools so advanced you'd half expect them to be stamped property of the CIA. No one really knows how long some of these products will stay on the platform before somebody, somewhere, decides they're a little too much for the general public. What you do know is this. You do not want to discover them after they're gone. So whether you're a tech nerd, a hardcore prepper, or just curious about the stranger side of cutting-edge products, keep watching and start making a mental list of what you'd stash away for a day when the world feels upside down. And before we dive into the wild stuff, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to Frugal Finds For You. If you love saving money, staying prepared, and seeing the craziest things you can still legally order to your front door, this is the channel you'll want in your corner. Now let's jump into it. Number 1 on today's list is the Vipert VTS880 mini stun gun. This little device is a personal safety tool that manages to be both highly effective and almost shockingly discreet. It's small enough to slip into a pocket, purse, or glove compartment without drawing any attention at all, but powerful enough to make any would-be attacker seriously rethink their choices. The whole design is built around low-profile self-defense. At a glance, it looks like an ordinary compact flashlight. There's nothing about it that screams security device, and that's exactly what some people find both fascinating and a little unsettling. Tools that pack this much power usually don't come in such an unassuming package. The Vipert VTS880 is advertised with a massive voltage output, more than enough to briefly incapacitate an attacker when used correctly. In an actual confrontation, those few seconds of surprise and disruption are what let you create distance and get to safety. That's the entire point of a stun device like this. Not to play action hero, but to give you a chance to escape. It also comes with an internal rechargeable battery, which means you're not constantly buying and swapping out disposable batteries. Plug it in, top it off, and it's ready to go again. Staying prepared is always easier when the gear you rely on doesn't demand a ton of upkeep. On top of that, it includes a built-in LED flashlight, so it doubles as a practical everyday tool. Walking the dog at night, heading through a dark parking lot, or grabbing something from your car, you can use it just like a normal flashlight without anyone realizing it has a second function. Now, as useful as all that sounds, there's an important catch. While stun guns like this are legal in many areas, there are states, cities, and countries that heavily restrict or completely ban them. That's part of what makes the VTS880 feel almost too good to be true. You're talking about a serious self-defense device that's incredibly easy to carry, but not everyone is thrilled about how accessible that is. Because of how compact and low-key it is, you could easily walk around with it and have most people assume it's nothing more than a tiny flashlight, right up until the moment you need to flip the switch and use it as intended. If you're all about staying safe without putting a big spotlight on yourself, something like the Vipert VTS880 absolutely fits that mindset. It's practical, it's effective, and it offers real peace of mind. Even though, realistically, it's the kind of thing you hope you'll never have to actually use. Just make sure you triple-check your local laws and regulations before you even think about tossing $20 at something like this. Not every place is okay with it being that easy to buy and carry. Next up, we've got the Snake Eye Tactical Folding Pocket Knife. Now hold on, because this isn't your grandpa's old folding knife that lives in a toolbox somewhere. This thing was clearly designed with modern tactical use in mind. It's lightweight, durable, and styled to look like it means business the moment you flip it open. Right now, it sits on Amazon at a budget-friendly price point, but what you're getting feels a lot more serious than the tag suggests. The Snake Eye Tactical Knife combines a compact frame with a sharp stainless steel blade built to resist rust and corrosion. That means if you take care of it, you're not just buying a toy, you're buying something that can last for years of use. The handle usually comes in matte black or camo-style finishes, giving it that aggressive, tactical look that preppers and outdoors fans gravitate toward. But the showstopper is the spring-assisted opening. With just a flick of your finger, the blade snaps into place incredibly fast. That speed is what makes this knife feel like it's one step beyond your average everyday carry blade. It's convenient and efficient, no doubt, but it's also why some people raise the "should this really be legal everywhere?" question. A knife that deploys this quickly starts to feel awfully close to more heavily restricted styles in certain regions. So, why would someone want a knife like this? Easy. You might be out camping, cutting rope, opening boxes, trimming paracord, or dealing with small fixes around the house. In a sudden emergency, like cutting a seatbelt, clearing an obstacle, or working through debris, having a blade that's sharp, reliable, and easy to access can make a real difference. The folding design keeps it compact and safer to carry when it's not in use, and the locking mechanism is there to prevent accidental opening in your pocket or bag. Of course, just like with any tactical knife, there are legal lines you can't ignore. Some places restrict blade length, some restrict spring-assisted mechanisms, and others have rules about where and how you can carry it. A knife that feels like a practical tool to you might look like something else entirely in the wrong context. For people who genuinely need a versatile blade that blends speed, durability, and a tough build, the Snake-Eye Tactical Folding Pocket Knife is the kind of product that instantly gets bookmarked. Just remember, it's a tool, not a toy. If you're going to own something like this, you need to know the rules and respect them. Moving on, our next item is the Brickhouse Security GPS Car Tracker. This is one of those gadgets that feels like it belongs in a spy car, yet here it is, sitting on Amazon for a price that makes it accessible to almost anyone. It's small, easy to hide, and surprisingly capable. Don't let the size fool you. This tracker can provide real-time location data with impressive accuracy anywhere it has coverage in the United States. For someone who wants to keep tabs on their own vehicle, maybe for security, maybe for business reasons, that kind of visibility can be a game changer. The Brickhouse Tracker is designed to be tucked away without drawing attention. It usually comes with a strong built-in magnet, so you can attach it to a metal surface on a vehicle, and it's built to handle the elements. Rain, splashes, road grime, it's meant to keep working through all of that. The legitimate uses are pretty straightforward. A parent might use it to monitor a teen's driving habits. A small business owner might use it to track company vehicles. Someone worried about theft might quietly hide one in their car so they can locate it if it ever disappears. But here is where things get very murky, very fast. Owning the tracker isn't the issue. Using it on your own property isn't the issue. The problem is when people cross the line and attach something like this to someone else's car without their knowledge or consent. That's where the legal and ethical red flags start popping up all over the place. The same features that make this device powerful for honest security. Live tracking, movement alerts, geofencing zones that notify you if a vehicle leaves an area also make it extremely risky in the wrong hands. Stalking, spying, and tracking someone without permission is not just unethical. It can be flat out illegal. So, if you're thinking about a tracker like this, think responsibility first. For guarding your own vehicle or managing a business fleet, it's a strong tool. Use it for anything shady. And you're not being clever, you're inviting legal trouble. Imagine being able to listen in on what's happening around you in real time during an emergency. Storms, accidents, major incidents, all before you see a single notification online. That's where the Uniden Bearcat BC125AT handheld scanner comes in. This handheld scanner lets you tune into a wide range of communication channels. We're talking public safety, some air traffic, certain business frequencies, and more, depending on what's legal to monitor where you live. For hobby listeners, radio enthusiasts, and serious preppers, it's like having an audio window into what's unfolding around you. The BC125AT can store hundreds of channels, allowing you to scan through different bands and lock onto active transmissions. You can sit at home and listen to aircraft chatter in the sky above, or monitor local emergency services during major weather events. For people who want information before it trickles into mainstream news, This kind of device is pure gold. What makes it feel almost too much is how easily it's sold. No special clearance, no licensing, just to buy one. And yet, in the right scenario, it gives you access to streams of real-time information most people never hear. Now, owning a scanner is usually legal, but using it the wrong way is not. In many places, you can get into serious trouble if you use a scanner in a vehicle to track law enforcement in real time, or if you use what you hear to commit or assist in crimes. There are also boundaries around privacy and how you use the information you pick up. So if you're getting a scanner because you like staying informed, maybe you're a storm spotter, maybe you go to air shows, maybe you just like understanding what's going on in your area, this tool is incredible. Just make sure you understand the laws in your state and treat what you hear with respect. And if all of this so far has you thinking, okay, I clearly need to level up my preparedness and money-saving game, don't forget to subscribe to Frugal Finds for You. I break down both the smartest deals and the smartest ways to actually use what you're buying, so you're not just collecting gear, you're building real readiness without wasting cash. Next up, we've got something that lives on the edge between safe training tool and wow, that looks a little too real. The foam rubber training knife, like the ones made by Zelani. These training blades are built for self-defense drills, martial arts practice, and tactical training scenarios. The whole point is to let people get comfortable practicing close quarters defense with something that mimics the size and shape of a real knife. Without the risk of actually cutting anyone, they're usually made from dense, flexible foam rubber, soft enough to prevent serious injury, but firm enough to feel like you're working with a realistic object. You can spar, practice disarms, run through scenarios, and build muscle memory, all while keeping safety as the top priority. For instructors, students, and security professionals, a tool like this can be invaluable. It lets you ramp up the intensity of your training. Faster movements, more realistic drills, without stopping every 5 seconds to worry someone is going to get seriously hurt by accident. But here's where the controversy creeps in. As these training knives get more realistic in their shape, color, and weight, they start to blur the line visually between safe trainer and actual weapon. From a distance, or in a high-stress situation, someone might not know the difference. Picture a scenario in a public place where someone pulls out a realistic-looking training blade as part of a demonstration, prank, or poorly thought-out joke. Even if it's just foam, other people have no way of knowing that in the moment. All they see is a knife, and reactions can escalate quickly. For what it's intended to do, help you practice real-world skills in a controlled environment, a foam rubber training knife is incredibly useful. It lets you simulate dangerous situations while keeping actual danger to a minimum. But it's also the kind of thing that needs to stay in training spaces. Bring it into the wrong environment, wave it around without context, and you're asking for confusion at best and serious trouble at worst. From there, we step into something that feels like it should be locked in a supply closet at a police station, yet you can order it with a few clicks. Vipert Double Lock Steel Police Edition handcuffs. These aren't novelty cuffs or flimsy props. They're built like the real thing, because they are the real thing. Solid steel, serious weight, and a double locking mechanism that prevents them from tightening further once they're set, a safety feature commonly found in law enforcement gear. The double lock is there to protect both sides. It stops the cuffs from accidentally cinching down tighter and injuring someone's wrists, and it makes them harder to tamper with. That's part of what earns them the Police Edition label. They're designed with actual restraint scenarios in mind. For trained security professionals, certain emergency response teams, or organized community watch groups with clear protocols, having a pair of professional-grade handcuffs might be justifiable as another layer of control when things go very wrong. But for the average person, this is where the gray zone starts. Legally, in many places, you're allowed to buy and own handcuffs. The problem isn't always the ownership, it's what you do with them. Restraining someone without lawful authority, misusing them as a scare tactic, or bringing them into situations where they're not appropriate can turn into a legal nightmare very quickly. There's also the question of intent. A prepper who quietly stores a pair in a locked kit, just in case, is very different from someone who starts carrying them around looking for opportunities to play vigilante. That second mindset is how people end up facing charges they never saw coming. If you're considering something like Vipert police-style handcuffs, you need to be brutally honest with yourself about why you want them, how you would use them, and whether they actually make sense for your situation. Because while they could be a game changer in a very narrow set of emergencies, they can also create more problems than they solve if used outside of a clear, lawful context. Finally, let's talk about something you probably never expected to see on a list like this: neodymium fishing magnets. Brands like DAG make insanely strong neodymium magnets designed specifically for magnet fishing. Tossing a powerful magnet into rivers, lakes, or ponds to pull up metal objects from the bottom. These aren't little fridge magnets. These are dense, heavy, rare earth magnets with pulling forces that can reach hundreds of pounds when used correctly. With the right setup, you can haul out everything from old tools and scrap metal to safes, bikes, and yes, sometimes even firearms that have been sitting underwater for years. That's part of what makes magnet fishing so fascinating to people. Every throw is a mystery. You might pull up nothing but rusty bolts, or you might snag something that's been hidden out of sight for decades. From a treasure hunting perspective, it's addictive. From an environmental angle, you're also helping clear metal junk out of waterways. But here comes the other side. When you're pulling random metal objects out of rivers and lakes, you don't always know what you're going to find, or what the law says about it. Recovering old weapons, potentially stolen property, or items tied to past incidents can put you in a very awkward position if you don't handle it correctly. In some places, there are rules about reporting certain finds to authorities rather than just taking them home as trophies. There's also a safety angle people don't talk about enough. Some old items can be hazardous, chemically reactive, or unstable after years underwater. Yanking them up without knowing what you're dealing with can turn fun weekend hobby into dangerous situation in seconds. So while these neodymium fishing magnets open up a world of possibilities, from treasure hunting to cleanup projects, they also carry real risks if you're not prepared for what you might drag up. If you do decide to step into magnet fishing, you're not just going after cool finds. You're accepting the responsibilities that come with whatever surfaces at the end of that rope. And that's the rundown of 7 intense Amazon finds that honestly feel like they're skating a little too close to the forbidden line. Yet for now, they're all sitting there, available with a tap on your screen. From compact self-defense devices and lightning-fast knives to covert GPS trackers, powerful radio scanners, hyper-realistic training tools, professional-grade cuffs, and magnets that pull secrets right out of the water, Amazon truly has something for every kind of prepper, hobbyist, and curious mind. But here's the reality. As intriguing as these items are, I wouldn't wait around too long if something really grabbed your attention. We live in a fast-moving world. The moment an item gets too popular, too controversial, or too widely misunderstood, it can vanish from the marketplace just as quickly as it appeared. It really is a race against the clock. If there's something on this list that fits your needs, your skill level, and your local laws, you'll want to act before a policy change or a wave of complaints takes it off the shelves. Stay curious, stay prepared, and remember, the world of online shopping is always shifting. The people who truly thrive, whether it's in finances, emergencies, or everyday life, are the ones who stay a few steps ahead of that curve. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives on wild products that are still affordable, still legal, and still actually useful, make sure you subscribe to Frugal Finds for You and turn on notifications. I've got more videos coming that'll help you stay ready and save money at the same time. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next one.